If you're watching videos from this channel or other finance videos, chances are you have come across the word personal finance. But what is personal finance and why is it important? Hi, my name is Jorden and welcome to the channel. So personal finance is probably a term that we don't hear many people talk about, but maybe because we are Asians and talking about money isn't the thing that we do best. However, personal finance is something that I personally feel that the schools do not teach, or maybe they do not teach enough of. But they do teach us things like differentiation, integration, and advanced calculus, and I'm still waiting to see how I can use them in real life today. But nonetheless, let's unwrap what personal finance is, so it gives you more context about what this channel is about, and it also explains why personal finance is something that you need to understand so it can help you in the future to achieve some sort of financial freedom, depending on what your definition of financial freedom is. And by definition, personal finance is the management of one's money through savings, investing, setting financial goals, budgeting, retirement planning, and also saving for your children's university fund. So this can seem like a broad topic, but each of these components that we mentioned do interlink with one another. So for example, budgeting is linked to savings and investing. And investing is linked with setting goals, and which is also interlinked with retirement planning. So under each of these categories, it can be further broken down into bite-sized information, which can make things much easier to understand. So something to note is that personal finance can be very different from each person because of the experience we have, the income that we earn, the financial commitment, and the skill set that we have. All these will determine how we manage our own finances. There are many different versions of what the fundamentals of personal finance are, but for me, I've narrowed down into 5 different fundamentals. So the first one is to know your take-home pay. Be it whether you're working as a freelancer, you're self-employed, or you're an employed salaryman, knowing your take-home pay is really important. And for us in Singapore, we do have a CPF component, which does a forced savings for us by putting away 20% of salary into CPF, where we can use it for housing, medical, and retirement. This means that if you're earning $3,000 a month, your take-home pay after CPF is $2,400 because 20% of $3,000 is $600. So our income seems a lot smaller because of a portion of it being deducted and placed into a savings account for us. Therefore, always keep in mind the amount of take-home pay you receive, because this will give you a clearer picture of how much cash flow or how much income you're generating every single month. If you're a freelancer or you're self-employed, things will be a little bit different for you because the CPF component is a self-contribution from your own end. So depending on how much you decide to contribute to CPF, this will determine your take-home pay, which is used to sustain your daily living. So the next fundamental here is to create a budget. So creating a budget is as simple as writing down or putting things into an Excel sheet on how much you should spend for things like transportation, food, beverages, entertainment, your phone bills, and your insurance. So this is just a general overview, but it can go so much deeper. But if you think doing out a budget plan is too much of a hassle for you, you can consider following the 50-30-20 rule, which is to split your money up into these baskets. 50% for needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% for your savings. And this will bring us to the next fundamental of creating an emergency fund. So I cannot stress this enough, but having an emergency fund will allow you to have better mental health, knowing that you have some backup funds in the event you lose your job or there's another black swan event that occurs. And by and large, there's a recommended amount which is 6 months of expenses, but depending on your lifestyle, it will vary from person to person because it's still personal finance. So there are some people that choose to have 6 months of income because this will give them more buffer, and if you are the kiasu kind or the risk adverse type, you can go up to 12 months of income, but do bear in mind that this will mean that you'll miss out on some opportunities. So in the ideal situation, your emergency fund shouldn't be touched regardless of your financial situation, and the only time you use it or touch this sum of money is when there's a medical emergency or a sudden emergency that requires additional money or life and death situations.
This is an emergency.
But do note that buying a camera, a new bag, or going on a holiday isn't an emergency unless you define emergency as something like that. Once you got your emergency funds saved up and parked well, you'll want to start comparing interest rates across different banks, because 6 months of expenses or income would be a pretty huge sum of money, and you would want to leverage on the best interest rates available to give you the highest interest, which can then compound your money and grow your money. So if you look at the savings accounts in Singapore, we can see that CIMB provides 0.3% to 1% in interest, whereas the rest gives an interest rate that ranges between 0.1 to 0.5%. and the difference of 0.5% based on a $5,000 capital is $25 or roughly $2 a month. If you were to compound this amount, it might not grow to a very large sum of money, but no one has ever complained about having extra money. However, if you are a little bit more hardworking, there are some other credit cards account that links to savings account like the UOB One account, which gives you 2.5% interest. But there are some hoops that you have to jump through, like spending on your credit card, crediting your salary, and much more. And last but not least is to invest wisely. So starting your investing journey can be pretty daunting because of the myriad of things that are happening, all the information that you have to take in, and all that news that you have to read. However, investing can be really simple as well. If you are risk averse and you wouldn't like to take on too much risk, you can go for a broad market index fund like VOO, which performs at a 10% year on year. But do understand that these returns really depend on the market movements. And if you're looking for a broker to start your investing journey, here are a few words from our sponsor, HappyTrade. Have you ever wanted an exchange that allows you to trade crypto and stocks at the same time? Now with HappyTrade, you're able to trade both crypto and stocks in one app. So being someone that wants to make things simple in life, having a broker like this allows me to manage my portfolio with ease, and I can switch between crypto and stocks at any point of time. So HappyTrade allows you to purchase shares with crypto, which is great because it allows you to convert your crypto gains into a safer asset class all in one app. On top of that, by logging in every single day and collecting HappyTrade credits, you're able to use those credits to vote for combo VS events that happen on a monthly basis, where you stand to win some money if the combo you pick wins. Each month, there will be 2 featured combos that you're able to use your HappyTrade credits to vote for the combo that you think will win. If you pick the winning combo, you'll win some money as the prize rewards. So if you haven't signed up yet, do check out the link in the description down below, and thank you HappyTrade for sponsoring today's video. So before you start investing, make sure you understand the differences between investing and trading. So investing looks at the long term, maybe 5-10 years in the future, and trading looks at the short term gains. Trading can definitely bring you some income, but it has drawbacks like taking on leverage, having higher risk exposure, and having the knowledge to trade effectively. So here are my 5 fundamentals for personal finance. At the end of the day, our fundamentals will vary between us, but the ultimate goal here is to achieve financial freedom where we can do what we want and what we love. So this brings us to the end of today's video. Drop a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on that notification. And as always, stay safe, invest safe, and I'll see you in the next video.